What's up, guys? So you've met my retic, you've met all my ball pythons, but one snake you probably haven't seen yet is my boa. So how does that snake stack up against the other two? What's up, YouTube? It's Baker. Welcome back to Blue Line Morphs, guys. You know the channel, man. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, give me a thumbs up, comment down below. We are a new ball python breeding channel. Post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. My Instagram channel is blue_line_morphs, and my Facebook page is Blue Line Morphs. My Instagram channel is pretty much my personal page. I don't even use my actual personal page. If you want to check out my personal page, it's dev_bake, B-A-K-E. So check out either one, but definitely check me out on the snake one. Turning back to the channel, guys. Welcome back, man. It's Wednesday. Well, it's Thursday, Tuesday for me. I got an early tour on Wednesday, so I'm making the video now. No real update going on, man. I'm just pairing everybody up. Incubator's holding steady. Rats are still pregnant. The ASFs haven't eaten each other, so I'm really happy about that. I will say this, though. That Aussie pied male that I'm growing up there, he was eating like a champ and bulldozed right to like 380 grams, but he hasn't eaten in the last 11 days, so this is making me kind of nervous. Maybe he won't get up to size. We'll see. I'm probably going to offer him some ASFs this weekend, though. Try to switch it up. Maybe that'll entice him to eat again. We'll see what happens. No rush. Listen, if it comes to like December, January, and he's really not looking like going to get up to speed, what I'll probably do is I'll use that banana pied male, and I'll breed him to like that pastel enchi pied and that big normal pied girl. Just get some pieds going, see what's up, make some heads. I'm not entirely sure, but hopefully he gets eaten again. We'll see what happens. Again, guys, the second week in November, I'm definitely be taking off for vacation. So if you're local, you want to hang out, you want to do a quick interview for the channel, show me your collection, stuff like that. I really like to get around. A couple people hit me up, so definitely comment down below if you're local, you want me to come around. With that being said, let's get right into this video. So, I did the video where I introduced you to Lilith, right? My big retic. She's not actually big at all. She's the purple albino retic. She's probably a little bit over a year now. I kind of explained to you the ball pythons against the retics, right? If you guys remember, one thing I said about the retic is she's constantly on the move. She's constantly moving around. She's constantly going. And I also said that there's one thing about the retic that I really noticed is that there's something behind those eyes, right? And a lot of you guys commented down below, and you're like, yo, Bake, like, yeah, retics are just a lot smarter, a lot more sinister, if you will, right? Like, even when, you know, my boa and my retic, so kind of gonna end up breaking out of that thing. But even in my living room, I have the retic and I have the boa in two different terrariums, right? So you walk into my house, like, you know exactly what's up. Straight ahead of you, I have the boa. It's like a 3-foot terrarium that opens up like this. And to your right in the corner of my living room, I have a 4-foot by 2-foot, 3 feet by 2-foot terrarium for the retic. So one thing I noticed, you sit on the couch, the retic kind of comes over and checks you out, right? You walk in the house, it seems to feel the vibration of the door, and it watches you with its eyes, and you know, it's very much more intelligence behind those eyes than our beloved ball pythons. So if you haven't checked that video out yet, definitely go check out and meet that retic. I love her, man. She's cool as can be. The other night she ate and took a big old rat down, right? Frozen thought for her. For some reason, she's the only retic I've ever seen does not like eating live. Anyway, she's a character, right? Like, ball pythons all have their separate little weird in personalities. You know, some of your snakes are feisty, some aren't, and so forth and so on. But with the retic, man, last night she ate, or 2 nights ago she ate, and I had to fill up a water bowl. But she got a little defensive, right? When she eats, she gets a little, I guess, I don't know, she's feeling fat. I don't know what the deal is, but she seems a little more vulnerable, right? She's not as quick, not as agile. So she kept like opening her mouth, and it was like a struggle. I had to like push her head away. She's not trying to bite me, but she's kind of like, you know, buzz off type of thing. But the retic is definitely totally different than the ball pythons, right? And we know our ball pythons, man. They're like the Labradors of the snake world, right? They're like the dogs of the snake world. I call them the movie snake. I got that from my boy Mike from Redline Pythons. You take them out, they're cool, they're calm, they're collected. They just kind of hang out, right? That's one of the things I really like about the ball pythons is you can trust them with the kids, you can trust them with pretty much anything. Listen, yes, you've seen my younger snakes try to bite me and all that, but whatever. But for the most part, we know the big difference between the retics and the boas, right? They're drastically different. The retic's constantly on the move, constantly going. If you have the retic out, that's what you're doing for the night, right? Because you're constantly moving your hands, trying to keep up with her. And the ball python kind of will move around a little bit for the most part. hook around your neck, and that's about it. So check that video out. All right, so let's meet my Retic. So full disclaimer, before I grab my Retic, my boa, full disclaimer, I'm going to tell you how I got it, her, him. I don't know much about them, guys. I am not breeding boas, man. I just keep her as a pet. I think she's cool. I'll get into that. But full disclaimer, this video is going to be about the feeding response compared to the Retic and the ball pythons, handling them, whether they're a movie snake or they're just non-stop going. I'm going to talk about all that. I'm going to show her off. So let me go grab her. What's up, guys? We're back. I went and grabbed my boa. I keep calling her a her, but I'm not entirely sure if she's a her. I know in order to sex them, what you do is you feel down here, then you can feel if there's any like little bumps, and those I guess are the, I can tell if it's a male or not. I have no idea. I don't feel anything. I'm not entirely sure. So as far as I know, guys, she's just the basic boa you can have, right? I know they have a lot of different like morphs now. I've seen some boas going for big money. I've seen a lot of crazy looking boas, but for the most part, she's as basic as can be. I don't even think she's technically a red-tailed boa. I think she's like a boa imperator or something like that. Again, I don't know. So if you're looking for boa knowledge, move on, man. I am not a boa guy. I'm barely a ball python guy. But I'm going to tell you what I have noticed as a pet, pet-wise. All right. First and foremost, I'm going to keep calling her she. I have no idea. She's a hardy snake. She's only about 1.5 years old as far as I know. So real quick story. Long story short. This is how I got her. I was at work, and the ongoing joke at work is all my snakes. As you can see, she moves around quite a bit, but then she'll calm down. I'll get into that in a second. So the ongoing joke at work is, Bake's got all these snakes. He's got, there's a room. He's spending all this money on snakes. Like, pretty much I'm a loser. But with that being said, one of my buddies is dating this girl, and she had a snake. She had this guy, girl, whatever it is. It was real tiny, man. If you check back my Instagram channel, it was really small. I mean, like, feeding a hopper, like mice small, okay? He's like, Bake, listen, I don't know what it is, but she doesn't want it anymore. She can't have it anymore. Do you want it? I said, yeah, whatever. Send me a picture. Sends me the picture. I'm like, all right, I know it's a boa. Didn't know much about boas. I've heard a lot of bad things about boas, attitude-wise. But let me show you something. Look at this. How cool is that? We'll get into that in a second. So, long story short, he sent me a picture. I said, you know what? Yeah, I'll meet up with you. How much you want for it? And he goes, nah, just take it. Right? At the time, it was in a 10-gallon tank, which was more than sufficient for it. Went, picked it up. I'll be honest with you guys, I was going to flip it. I was just going to sell it for like $250 with the enclosure, the heat pad and the thermostat and the cage and the snake and everything else, like $200, $250, and probably put it back into my ball python projects. But the more I had it and the more I fed it, the more I fell in love with boas, man. As a pet, I don't know if I'll ever breed them, just because I know, they give birth live, and there's probably much more into these. Let's get this right first, right? I mean, that's fair. Right, I talk about retics, I talk about breeding boas and stuff. Why don't we figure out we're doing ball pythons first? Anyway, so what are the differences that I have noticed between a retic to the ball python to the boa, feeding and everything else? Let's cover feeding. Now we know ball pythons are finicky and they go off feed and everything else. Look, I'm drenched in sweat, guys. This humidifier, the humidifier and the heater, man. We're at 81 degrees in here and 60% humidity. The tubs are holding it great. I'm loving this. So if you haven't seen that video, some people comment you don't need the humidifier with the cocoa. I respect it. I'm going to check that out. But so far, guys, I've seen it's absolutely amazing what this heater, this humidifier has done for my snakes. Anyway, as far as feeding, we know they're picky. When it comes to retics, we know she's a savage, right? I always say it. That snake will eat all day if I let her. Well, I'll tell you right now, this boa is the same way, guys. So the way I have this tank set up, it actually looks pretty cool, right? Because of like twigs, like fake trees and vines and everything else in a hide. Literally, I either throw a live small rat, medium rat in there, or a frozen throat, I dangle it, and just strikes and eats no matter what. And actually, like last 3 days ago, it wasn't taking the frozen thawed from me. So I literally just warmed it up a little bit. I put it down in the cage. Next morning, I woke up and it's gone. So as far as feeding, the boas are insane, and that's what I've seen so far. All right, let's talk about handling these things. Now, you've seen the retic. When I had the retic, it was hand over fist, trying to hold this thing. Now, she's moving around a lot, okay? Don't get me wrong. This snake does move around a lot. She is very curious, but she doesn't have that sinister vibe to her. She's, I don't know if I got lucky, but it's just a relaxed, look at this. It's just such a relaxed, cool snake, man. Like, I really enjoy this snake. It's why I decided to keep it. It just kind of hangs out. It's it really is chill out, man. It really is a chill snake. I really like this boa. I would say this. It's a cross between the two as far as handling goes. When it comes to the retic, it's cool to handle, constantly on the move, and if you have the retic out, that's what you're doing for the night, okay? But when you have the ball pythons out, they won't move around. They do a little bit for the most part. You know they're just going to chill out, right? We know that. We know ball pythons, some move around a lot. For the most part, they chill out. With the boas, man, they're in between. At first, when she comes out, she wants to move. But if I have her out for the next 10 minutes, this snake will just hang out. Often, guys, when I'm working on my YouTube channel, it's kind of ghetto. I have it on like I can't even show you. You know, like those like dinner tables for like the living room. I have my computer set up on that in the living room for now. And in the middle has like an X. I take her out all the time. I put her around it. Oh man, I'm drenched. I put her around it and she hangs out like a little perch. Like now she's starting to chill. If you guys noticed when I first had her out, constantly on the move. But now look, very relaxed, very chill. Now, as far as size-wise, everything that I've gauged so far, they're a hardy, thick snake, okay? She's as thick as my retic, not as long as the retic. And I know they get very thick and, like, you know, very thick, muscular snake. The females, I believe, get 8 to 10 feet and be real thick. And the males, I think, are pretty much the size of a big ball python. Don't quote me. Again, if you're a boa guy, comment down below. But I will say this, man. As far as everything that I'm concerned myself with when it comes to a pet, I will say this. I love my retic. The boa is the better pet, okay? Love my ball pythons. Love them. I think they're the best snake pet you can have. But I think this boa is right there with her. Look, now she's just chilled out. They have a really cool look about them. You know, different than the ball pythons. I don't know if I'm just used to the ball pythons. But check out this face, man. Stop moving, honey. All right. Very cool looking. Can you see it? Look at that. Very cool looking face. These black eyes. Not as sinister. Not as aggressive. Not as intelligent as the retic. But still an impressive, really cool snake, guys. Eats like a monster. Can handle it really well. So you're looking for a nice pet. You like reptiles. I recommend boas, man. I really like the boas. Let me check out my cheat sheet here. That's it, guys. That's all I really wanted to cover. They eat like warlords, man. They eat like absolute savages. They're really easy to handle. As far as breeding, I don't know if I'll ever get into it. Again, let's get this right. But I love this boa, man. I'm going to keep her. She's definitely a pet. I don't know if I got lucky because I've heard some horror stories, but look at that. Not even holding it. It just likes to be out. Likes to be held. Likes to be touched. Likes to be cuddled. Always have this thing out. Kind of just hangs out once it's out for a little bit. So, there you have it. There's my boa compared to my retic, compared to my ball python. I think the boa kind of is in the middle. Big snake, impressive snake, not as doofy as the ball python, not as sinister and evil as the retic. As far as holding it, not as lethargic, I would say, as a ball python, and not as crazy as a retic. So right in the middle. As far as feeding, though, it's an animal. I highly recommend them, man. I love the boa. I'm going to be holding on to this thing. Definitely a cool pet. Definitely a chill, relaxed boa, man. This thing's not head shy at all. I can literally just hold it and touch it. It just doesn't care, man. It really just, look at that. It just doesn't give a shit. I love this thing. Anyway, guys, that's my boa. Comment down below if you want to see more of it. Comment down below if you want me to do more research on these guys. Comment down below if you breed them. Let me know. Message me on Instagram. I like these things a lot. Maybe I'll get into it. Maybe I won't. But as always, guys, listen. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you want to see more of her. As always, guys, be safe. Please remember, watch your six.